Hey guys, my name is Zyler with Handboards, and today I'm going to be teaching you the basics of handboarding, starting with the backside shove it. So the backside shove it is a trick that basically just relies on your backhand. Now what's really important when doing this trick is that your backhand acts as a foot, so it's going to be doing the actual rotation of a shove it. And what that is kind of just moving your hand in a little diagonal direction, such as that. So you can practice this a lot with your backhand, just getting this rotation down. A problem that occurs when trying to do the rotation of the shove it is that you're actually putting pressure on the corner of the board right about there. And that can cause it to flip, which is known as the pressure flip. And this is not what you're going to want to be doing, and it can develop bad habits. So this is what a pressure flip looks like. That's what's going to happen if you're not scooping your board more as you're just putting pressure on it in order for it to spin. So remember, just rely on shoving your board backwards so then it actually does a shove it. Now once you've got that down with the backhand, you can just take your front hand and simply place it over. Now what this does with your front hand is basically there for moral support. It's kind of just helping it out through the process of doing the shove it. And towards the end, when it's ready to end the shove it, you can even catch it with your front hand and it'll look really good. So, something like that. The shove it's a really good trick for introing in handboarding. So like the shove it will develop many other tricks like a varial flip or tray flip. Keep practicing the shove it, and up next is the Ollie. The shove it's kind of easy. You just have to scoop it and then you catch it with the front hand. However, the Ollie is more complicated. With the Ollie, you're actually going to be sliding and popping at the same time. So you're popping the board while sliding your front hand up to get it to even out in air, which you see in actual skateboarding. So this is a relatively difficult trick to learn, and you may get frustrated on it, but don't worry, there are many different things that you can do to make the Ollie a lot easier to learn, such as one where you use a book. Now this technique is very awesome because it gets you to get used to like ollieing up something, and that can be easier because you don't stress yourself out about ollieing high enough or anything like that. So I will demonstrate what that looks like. So as you can tell, that was really easy, and that'll be easier than just learning how to ollie on flat ground. Obviously my ollies are not very beautiful compared to other tricks because they're one of the harder tricks to do. However, when you get to Ollie, you can do it in so many different things, and it evolves into a lot of different tricks, and it's kind of the foundation of any board trick that involves board and wheels. So once again, the Ollie is just a lot of practice. Now one of the steps that you can do is actually just popping the board and keep your hand right here and getting used to the board catching your hand and your hand being the controller. So you want to make sure that you have good control when doing that. And when you have good control doing that, then afterwards you can work on sliding your hand up more so then it evens out in the air and you get a higher Ollie. Higher, cleaner, better, greater. So once again, this trick is all about practice. So get that Ollie down, because here comes the kickflip. Now a kickflip is actually sort of easier than an Ollie, because with the Ollie you have to drag your hand all the way up, and you still have to, it's just a complicated trick. It takes a lot of work. Now with the kickflip, it actually is basically half the work. So you're still popping it straight up like you do in the Ollie, and you're still dragging your hand. However, you're dragging your hand off the corner of the board, so then it does a full flip, and you can catch it like that. Now, with the kickflip, one of some problems are that you're either just going to do an Ollie or like a half a flip. So the way to fix that is by going off more diagonally. So that's just a common thing that you can do. And just remember, pop it up to the corner. And if you can, try to catch it along the concave of the board, right about there. Now, the reason why we do this is because if we did a kickflip and we flick it right here, it's going to do a rocket, and you don't want rockets to happen. So you don't want that to, that's not pretty. But what is pretty is when the board evens out and you can catch it really nice like that. So the way to make that happen is to get it along the concave. So if you get it kind of at the start of the concave, then it will even out in the air and you can catch it. So practice this, and if you're having trouble, just keep working on the flick going that way. The flick is all that matters in this trick, and the pop of course, but that's pretty easy. So once you get the flick down, then you should be able to do the actual flip and just practice your kickflips, and eventually you can get them higher and do them over stuff. And even if you can't do them high enough, then you can work on it up a book. Again, the book is extremely helpful. So yeah, the kickflip is a super fundamental trick that you can combine with a ton of other ones, such as the Shuv, to create a varial flip. And then you could even take it 360 degrees to a tray flip. To a tray flip. Keep practicing that kickflip. Like and subscribe for more adventures in handboarding from Hangnail Handboards.